we go into the scum and villainy section of the show, which is going to last, I think, for the rest of the show. And this is Kyle Davies and Su Zhu of Three Arrows Capital have finally opened their derivatives trading exchange where you can trade claims on bankruptcies that they caused. So this is, a lot to say about this. OPNX is the name of the exchange. These guys are neither intelligent nor trustworthy. Anybody who has chosen to back them in this, put their name down on a list, don't do business with them. This is a bad thing, a bad idea run by bad people. That's me editorializing. I'm an opinion editor. I can say that stuff. And I guess the other two of you can say whatever you feel safe saying.
Christy, take it away.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the most bizarre kind of exchange that I've ever seen. I know that in the days of the Mt. Gox insolvency hearings, when all kinds of nobody knew what was going to happen with Mt. Gox creditors, whether anybody was ever going to see any of their money, that there were claims being sold and traded. But there wasn't, I don't think, a centralized place where you could actually do that and swap them for other things that you might not ever see money for. It's like taking your lottery tickets and going to a lottery exchange party where you all kind of go, here, I think my lot of 649 is going to be better than your Powerball. So maybe we'll swap those up and charge somebody who's holding the party for the opportunity to giving them money so that you can all meet in their living room. I don't know. But it just sounds like bad bets being exchanged for bad bets. And who's going to be left holding the worst bets at the end of the day. Will, what do you think?
I somewhat agree with you, but I also have somewhat of a counter take here, and that is that there have been enough Chapter 11s within the cryptocurrency industry. I mean, even like the OGs were really caught up in these things with Mt. Gox to the point where I think this might be a useful instrument, and it's unfortunate that the two people that really are despised right now and will probably be forever despised in the crypto industry are the ones creating this whole exchange. There's some things that we can critique, like there has an exchange token, which not my favorite thing, is being slapped down pretty heavily right now from regulators, and typically from a price standpoint, they don't do very well. But I have to say, there's enough Chapter 11 things out there, and if we do believe in tokenizing everything, well, then you're going to have to tokenize Chapter 11 claims, and that's what's going to occur. And to have a marketplace to be able to move these things around might be useful for some people, right? Because if you need liquidity on your Chapter 11 claim and you don't want to wait 10 years, a la Mt. Gox, well, then you might be able to sell it to someone else who has lower time preference and can just, sit on that claim for a while. But David, you might have a separate take.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I was going to walk back that one aspect of my unhinged rant, which is that it's not inherently a bad idea. Everything else about it is bad. But, in most markets, if you have a bankruptcy claim, then there is going to be some kind of pathway to hand that off to somebody else to take over the debt. And yes, Will's right that people in certain situations might find this useful and convenient. I'm glad you mentioned the exchange token, because for somebody to launch an exchange token in April of 2023 is just a gargantuan red flag and goes beyond distrust of these individuals to create a structural reason to believe that this could be somebody planning an outright fraud. And, I'm not saying it's fraud. I'm saying that if you have an exchange token that you launch fresh in this year, it is bold. I'll say that. I'll say bold. The other thing to flesh out, I'm only withdrawing one part of my rant, so I'm going to flesh out another part of it, which is that Su Zhu and Kyle Davies are not smart people. And so it's important for people to keep this in mind as they're considering whether to be involved with this. Remember, Three Arrows Capital blew up in large part because they gave $200 million to Do effing Kwon. And Do Kwon is now in custody in, the Balkans and could be there for a while and will eventually go to trial elsewhere. He's going to make a world tour of standing up for his crimes. And Su Zhu and Kyle Davies thought that his pyramid scheme was real. or even worse, they realized that it was a pyramid scheme and thought that they could get out before it collapsed. So these are guys who enjoy playing dumb games. Suzu also thought that Bitcoin would continue going up forever, did not recognize that we were in a bubble. They don't even understand the market. They're not from crypto, for one thing. So, okay, I'll cut myself off there. Christy, take over. Bring us home here. Give us some comfort. Dear. Is there anything good here?
Well, I think it's really great that we're reporting on this story so that we can shed some light on who the people behind it are, because that's always a big deal, which, you know, you have very clearly laid out. Who are we talking about when we're talking about the founders of OPNX? And are these the kinds of people that you want to trust in any way with your funds, whether those are bankruptcy claims that are going to, you know, ever see the light of day or not? Do you really want to do business with them? And do you want to bolster them? So yeah, like we were saying, a lot of chutzpah on their part to actually come out and try and pull this off. But that's what we're here for, is to let people know who they are and who they might be dealing with. So. Yeah.
And it is chutzpah, but they also don't necessarily have a ton of options. Let's remember that.
Maybe it's hubris. Maybe it's hubris more than...
The only people hated more than them in crypto right now are definitely Sam Bankman-Fried, right? Like Do Kwon, bit of a clown, bad actor, screw up, patsy maybe. But these guys and SBF are malevolent, frankly, and have nothing good going for them in terms of their intent. I do wonder, Will, did you catch anything about the home base? What's the jurisdiction going to be? Are they willing to do anything outside of Dubai, or are they just in their castle now, ready to defend against law enforcement?
I believe they're in the Seychelles, but we'll have to leave this course of grift for another day.